We are FartKnightgamers, mobile players, paywall haters, entertainers, hot as lasers. Tell your neighbor, do a favor, you should subscribe, and you'll see more Knightlightning. He's not lightning, so enlightening, not so frightening. Hit like, and you'll see more. Who farted? He's who farted, not faint-hearted, nor outsmarted. Let's get started.
Hello there, I'm Knightlightnin.
And I'm WhoFartd.
And we're FartKnightgamers.
That's us.
So, disclaimer, if you don't like salty language and potentially offensive content, we recommend you visit somebody else's channel.
And if you got little kids in the room, earmuffs.
Earmuffs. Thank you, WhoFartd. Okay, so we have an interesting show for you today. But first, I just want to give a shout out because of a YouTube comment we received from a Tarek Itani. I hope I'm saying that right. Who basically made the statement to our old intro, that introduction needs to stop. And we basically wholeheartedly agree. So whether you like it or hate it, there's a new intro now, as you've just seen debuted on this video. So that's for you, Tarek Itani.
And I'd like to just add in, big thank you from last video. We hit 31 subscribers with the last video. So we hit that 31st, big jump. So I'm going to go out on a limb. I want to hit 33 by the end of the next video. 33. We're going to go astronomical jump.
We're shooting for the stars here. Less than 10%
Make
jump.
sure.
That's all we can expect in a down economy.
Exactly. We're not asking to hit 1,000. We're not asking to hit 10,000. We're asking to hit 33. The big 3-3.
The big 3-3. Correct. Okay. So for those who are interested, sometimes we get off topic. You can check out the timestamps listed below, and we will be debuting some original FartKnight content at the end, like usual. It is back. We're back, baby. So, FartKnight, talk to me. We are showing, and we're talking about the top 10 alternate costumes in Disney Sorcerer's Arena. So, do you want to talk a minute about what criteria we used?
Okay. So, to just give a background on our grading criteria. One, very simply, is the costume important to the movie they took part in? Really simply. Is it a key thing? So let's take, for example, Aladdin. Aladdin has once he becomes a prince, his princely garb. So that's important. It was an important scene in the movie. So we first look at, is it from an important scene? Then we look at how much more impact does it make on the character? Like, let's take Sorcerer Mickey. He glows now. Okay, that has an impact on that. And then lastly, but most importantly, is it awesome? Do you go like from a cool character to an awesome character? Or do you go from a cool character to a slightly cooler one? Like Sorcerer Mickey, I'd call slightly cooler, not drastically. So we weighed all of those into the decision. And we created a top 10, and we also created the single worst craptacular, what the hell was Glue thinking when they put this out there, because it sucks.
All right. I'm excited. All right. So, WhoFartd, you want to kick us off? Who do we have at number 10?
Number 10, we have the aforementioned Aladdin.
Okay.
So, like we touched upon, his costume, while not anything dynamic and not like, oh, that's awesome, it's something that was a super important scene in the movie. So you have to have him on the top 10 list because it really does, if you're an Aladdin movie fan, it's an important costume. But he doesn't glow. He doesn't glow in the dark. We can't shut off the lights and see if he's like this iridescent color. And it's not really, oh, that's cool. So 10.
Yeah, it's a nice different flavor. And I think that's one of the criteria we use is, does this change the feel of the character? We're going from pauper to prince, so to speak. So that's why I picked Aladdin as number 10, because it's a change. I mean, I don't like it so much, but it's nice. It's nice. Okay.
So let's jump to our next one.
Okay.
Next one, at number 9, we have a tie.
Okay. Talk to me about the first person.
So start out with first person, Sorcerer's Mickey.
Okay.
Okay. So start out with similar Aladdin. Iconic costume, very important for Fantasia. Kind of encapsulates the Sorcerer Mickey character far more than his basic one. And he glows. Kind of awesome in that sense. So therefore, he comes off more as a powerful magician. So that's why we have him at number 9. Similarly, tied at number 9 for a similar reason is Elsa. Now, Elsa's costume, I have not seen Frozen. I don't plan to see Frozen. I saw about 5-6 minutes of it, and that was more than enough. So I have no idea if this is important or not. I'm assuming it is. But she's now sparkly. Sparkly's cool. Sparkly, kind of flowy. So I think it's a cool addition to the character, but not, oh, that's awesome. So hence, high for 9.
Exactly. Similar to Aladdin. She's going from, you know, like a more meager kind. I mean, it's a nice outfit or her regular outfit, but she's going from a more meager or say modest kind of look to a very dynamic, and this is the iconic Elsa dress. And, you know, look, you get bonus points for sparkles. I mean, this is no other way.
And am I the only one that thinks this outfit could be improved with a cowl? Just saying.
A bat cowl.
She's got the cape. Why not go for the whole thing?
Yeah, there you go. That's a good point. She had some kind of I don't know, V for Vendetta mask or something. Mix it up.
And that would be good too. The Guy Fawkes mask. Yep.
Oh, that's funny.
So let's jump to number 8. Number 8 hits in the cool category, and that's Mulan.
Okay. I got her somewhere. Here we go.
So she has a battle armor as a secondary costume. So really cool, makes her look a lot tougher, a lot meaner, like the butt kicker she is in this game. So, and you also add in Dragon looks even cooler in this one. Double win. So that's why we have it at number 8. I'd say the difference between 6 and 8 is very minimal. You could kind of rearrange them, but I'd say this is probably a shade below our 6 and 7, but still really cool.
Yeah, I like it, especially since she has the sword and it's not just a prop. She actually uses it to attack in battle. So if you really want to get that more warrior feel, you could throw on this costume and you just feel like you're more in the middle of the battlefield, Mulan, as opposed to Mulan who's just sword practicing at home.
Exactly. So let's jump to number 7. The man, the myth, the legend, Gaston.
All right. No one fights like Gaston.
And in this case, very few people dress like Gaston.
That's true, and that's the thing. We all think of Gaston as just like a total jerk, which he is, but you know, this is the Gaston who's trying to sweep you off your feet. This is the Gaston who is bringing you to a dinner party.
This is the Gaston who's kind of like got that look like my shit doesn't stink. Friggin' awesome, which I like.
This is a prom night Gaston.
This is straight up ballin' Gaston.
It says that he's all that Gaston.
Exactly. This is the Freddie Prinze Jr. version of Gaston.
Yes, exactly. That's cool. I like that reference. Who do we got next on our list?
At number 6, we have in the fun category, Stitch.
Yeah, this is a good one.
So this falls in the funny, fun. Oh, you just passed them.
I did. Oh, yes.
There we go.
Thank you. Here we go.
So this is really simple, nothing drastic, but it's fun. Stitch in that fun mode. He's ready to go do his hula dance, you know. Got the grass skirt, got the grass cuffs, I guess. Got the little crown going. I think this is fun. This is whimsical, and it brings up one of the probably most iconically remembered parts of the Stitch franchise. Yeah,
this is good fun. I like this alternate quite a bit, and that's a great scene in the movie. It's probably the funniest scene in Lilo and Stitch when he goes and does his dance on the beach. His Elvis.
Exactly. So I think this wins all around. So now as we move into the top 5.
Ooh, here we go.
The next couple are pretty close, but I have to say 5 and 4 could go either way. So At 5, we have Yzma, however you want to pronounce her name. Terrible first costume, but the secondary is awesome. The secondary is like this Dr. Frankenstein style, like straight out of Young Frankenstein, mad scientist look. So I love it. It's kind of the hair's Bride of Frankenstein, and the rest of it is Dr. Frankenstein.
You know, you're so right about that. I just noticed that. And what I love about it too is she has all of these potion moves. She throws potions at the enemies. She throws potions at your allies to recover health. And I think that's much cooler when you're in a kind of mad scientist kind of outfit. So I kind of wish this was her regular skin. I haven't seen this in actual gameplay, but I imagine it would be really nice.
And honestly, I could even say that this is 4. But 4, the one that's going to be at number 4 is too iconic to put behind Yzma.
Yes.
So at number 4 is Simba. Now, obviously, we've got young adult Simba right here, but the alternate costume is young Simba. So obviously very important, spot on for the movie, but what makes it even more fun is Simba is such a damage taker and such a great tank, and you have this little character just basically flipping you the bird as he's just eating tons of damage.
You know, I had the exact same thought. I was going to say the exact same thing, because one time I was fighting a battle, and it's like this tiny little cub, and I wasn't aware of Simba's kit so much, and just I'm like, this tiny little cub is just absorbing so much damage. I just could not kill the character off. And, you know, the irony of it is unbelievable. So I completely agree with you. The juxtaposition of the appearance of the character versus what they do in battle makes it a much better alternate costume.
Exactly. Completely agree. So now we're going to get into the Elite 3, where honestly, any of these 3 could be 1 through 3. We put this together. I'd say I agree 100% in this ordering, but it's really, really close. So at number 3 is Jack Skellington. Now, the reason he's in the top 3 is because his alternate costume is super important for the movie, really cool looking, maintains the creepiness and the coolness at the same time. And the fun thing is it's kind of made the Santa outfit look a little like a tux with the tails and everything like that. They really capture, and even gets down that kind of like iconic pose of like, I am Santa.
Sandy.
Just really, just really good all around. So 2 thumbs way up. Fun, cool, a little dangerous, a little creepy. That's all leads to wins in my book.
Absolutely. The way the hat droops is gorgeously rendered. Jack Skellington himself is really cool, but you know, it is pretty bland. Just that it's a thin black and white.
It kind of looks like Santa meets ZZ Top.
Yeah, exactly. This is ZZ Top Santa for sure. The way the beard hangs, that's awesome.
Yeah.
But I like the fact that, you know, Jack Skellington got great fashion advice in doing this stuff. I love the color pops on that white skull.
Exactly.
Speaking
Going
of
to
black
number 2, we got Pete. Pete, the simplest character in the game in terms of his regular costume, looking like a straight 1940s through 1960s bad guy. His alternate costume is a throwback to the Steamboat Willie era. Everything in black and white. Really simple, really basic, but just capturing the era perfect. He looks mean. He looks nasty. The costume is of the era. The hat is of the era. The kind of style of drawing is the exact era. So I think it's historically important for the Pete character. Gives a throwback to what he was. The only thing I would like to see is maybe a third character to the Goof Troop era Pete, so you capture all 3 different eras of the Pete character.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. And if you look at the 2 side by side, or 2 flip-flopping between the images, I find the alternate Pete way more intimidating.
Oh, yes. Alternate Pete just looks like an ass kicker.
Yeah, exactly. He's Disney's first ass kicker, right?
Yeah,
like, and
exactly.
Very cool.
It looks like he stole Popeye's spinach. That's what it looks like.
There you go. So here we go.
So,
Who's our big bad winner here?
our big bad winner could be none other than Big Bad Wolf. Possibly the creepiest, if you look at it subjectively, but the most fun alternate costume. When I think alternate costume, I think something that I want to put on all the time. And if I'm using Big Bad Wolf, I want the creepy pig. And I also love the fact the tail is sticking out. So it still brings a little Big Bad Wolf flavor while adding that funniness, adding that creepiness, like he straight up looks like he's sticking his head out of bushes, waiting for his prey to come out. And the fact that he's got the long jacket just adds to it while still giving that kind of like gumshoe detective style flavor at the same time.
Yeah, this mask is right out of like an 80s horror movie.
Yes.
Like a really bad B 80s horror movie. You can totally see it. And the way his eyes move underneath the mask is so creepy. I love when you're battling with or against someone who has this alternate costume, the profile picture is Big Bad Wolf holding out and kind of strapping on the pig mask. One of the reasons why this is number 1 is, again, it juxtaposes what the character does, because the character doesn't seem like he's about to, you know, run up and bite you or use the huff and puff big bad breath and wipe out your whole team in one move, and yet he does so. In fact, the first time I ever came across an alternate costume in a Sorcerer's Tournament battle, I had no idea who this character was. I'm like, what this pig character, like, who's a pig in the game? And as the moves are going, I'm like, why do these moves look like Big Bad Wolf? And this guy hits so hard. And lo and behold, it's the not Big Bad Wolf character. So
that's what I love about the fact that it's titled Not Big Bad Wolf. Like, it just plays into it perfectly, and it's possibly the best naming convention of a alternate costume out there on top of that.
Big Bad Wolf brings us to our fake news section of our channel, I think. We know wolves in story tend to play dress up. Big Bad Wolf in this situation likes to dress as a pig. The little Red Riding Hood wolf dresses as grandma and takes her clothes. So there's definitely some gender switcheroo action there. So we figured the next real costume for the big bad wolf for the BBW is going to be this one right here. The BBW, the big beautiful wolf, is coming to Disney Sorcerer's Arena. So the big beautiful wolf is downtown and oceanic. You know, this is the wolf who likes to go out and after dining on your pork breakfast, so to speak, goes out and has a great day at the beach, but wants to look damn good while doing it. So the big beautiful wolf has a slight change in moves. So the basic goes from big bad wolf to big bad tan lines. So who farted? What's going on with these tan lines?
So this is one that I've been thinking about for a while. How does this equate to a move? So I'm imagining that we are introducing a brand new debuff called sunburn.
Ooh.
Or uneven tan. Haven't decided yet. Either way, the characters have a continuous buff that as they live longer and longer, the burn gets worse and worse. So, and I think we will add a new buff in the game, which this can impact everyone unless they have the buff of sunscreen.
I love it. I think the sunburn is an excellent idea. I think you might be right on the money with that one. I think in terms of debuffs, when you tan line the opponents, maybe it breaks up their factions. So somebody doesn't count as, say, tech for leadership tech anymore because they got all these, you know, discoloration. They're not necessarily with the crew anymore. So, you know what I'm saying?
I get exactly where you're going with that.
There you go. Okay. So first special is the same as the old one, Huff and Puff, except I think it may have a different meaning. The old big bad wolf he's not trim, but I wouldn't call him big and beautiful necessarily. So I'm thinking this Huff and Puff may just be a necessary thing the big beautiful wolf has to do now that he has added a few pounds into his bikini line. It's a little harder to down the beach when you gained 5 or 10 pounds over the COVID summer that we're living in July 2020. What do you think, Conform? Is this big beautiful wolf just debuffing himself?
I'm sorry, I didn't see that one coming. I did not see the direction where you were going with this. I am now imagining him doing the Baywatch run and just getting out of breath midway through this.
Exactly.
Does Big Bad Wolf now have asthma?
He's got to use his big bad inhaler.
Huff and Puff, like he just goes.
Just out of here. I'm gonna blow your house down. Just wait 1 second. Okay. They should add that. If they add equipment to the game, they gotta add the inhaler for the big beautiful wolf. Helps that big breath attack. Otherwise, it's just a whisper. Oh man. So okay, I guess that brings us into the second special, which is in women's clothing, and you'll notice we got some Rocky Horror lip action here. So I guess this is just maybe this is Big Bad Wolf sighting his inspiration. What do you think?
So I am going to go and imagine that all of a sudden this move is done. You start hearing in the background, Dude Looks Like a Lady by Aerosmith. And everybody changes costumes to the opposite gender.
Oh, that's awesome. That's really interesting. Yeah, again, like we were talking about, playing around with the tags. You know, if they add
Exactly.
tags to this game, well, you know what, swap-a-roo. For example, there is a princess tag in this game. So if you use in women's clothing on Ariel, does she become a prince? Does Gaston become a princess?
So that's really interesting because it changes the synergies of teams.
Yeah, we know. Look, we know for sure at some point there's going to be a princess synergy. There just has to be. There's no way they're not going to do it. So there's definitely, we may not see so much of this benefit now as beyond the aesthetic, but I think in the future this move can be a game changer when they add in more princess synergy, and this could break it up.
Speaking about prince synergy, is it possible that Disney now owns the rights to Purple Rain? Maybe this is the next character to be introduced.
It's possible. Look, they're gobbling everything up.
Who doesn't want to see Morris Day and Jerome in Disney Sorcerer's Arena? And
that would be fascinating. Absolutely fascinating.
And if you have not seen Purple Rain, it is time for you to go and watch it. It is a terrible, fun movie where it's at least better than Vanilla Ice's debut in acting, but not by much. And if you remember Cold as Ice, you're probably going Purple Rain was a much better movie, and I dare you to watch it, but don't listen to any of the music in it and tell me it's a good movie.
Oh, that's funny.
It was just based on the music. So there's my big tangent of the day. Watch Purple Rain, kids. If you don't know what that is, go on Spotify, listen to the Purple Rain album, go watch it on YouTube. It's probably on there illegally somewhere. I don't think it's streaming anywhere else because I think everybody else has given up on the relevance of it. Prince, awesome, bad actor.
I love it. Okay, moving on to Big Beautiful Wolf's Petite Grudge, which is the passive. So he's licking his chops there in the image. He's got this Petite Grudge. What do you think? Is this, even though the Big Bad Wolf is clearly confident in this big, beautiful body he's got going on, maybe he does extra damage to skinny characters? An anti-princess?
That's interesting.
Like, does Jack Skellington stand a chance against? we could say Jack Skellington is probably the most petite of all the characters. You know, having a diet that deprives him of flesh and muscle and organs.
So in other words, Jack Skellington's screwed and Oogie Boogie takes no damage?
Yeah, you know what? I have to actually look. I'm not sure if Skellington or Yzma is actually the skinniest character in the game. That might be close. Does the Big Bad Wolf feed off of the petite? And I mean, not just inspirationally. I mean, physically.
So you're saying there's a damage multiplier based on the size of your waistline?
Ooh, but you'd have to do it in reverse, right? It has to be the skinnier the waistline, the more damage you go up.
Yes. So the smaller your waistline, the higher the multiplier.
Yes. You know what you do? The math of that, I believe, is you divide his multiplier is actually divided by the waistline. So the skinnier it is, the bigger the hit, I believe. It'd be like,
well, you could just do a simple calculation of whatever the damage is times a multiplier, and then do 1 minus the percentage of the waistline versus Big Bad Wolf's waistline.
1 minus the percentage of the waistline. That has got to be a first ever formula in the history of man.
No, I'm taking it off the basis that you do to figure out your post-tax impact.
Yes,
so to find out your post-tax impact is you take whatever your salary is and you multiply that by the result of 1 times whatever your tax.
Correct.
Sorry, 1 minus your tax rate.
Yes.
And so therefore, let's say your tax rate was 30%. 1 minus 30 is 70%. 70% times 100,000 would mean that you take your post-tax 70,000. So I'm just altering the post-tax rate that you use for calculating salary.
Wow, that's pretty. I thank you for that, WhoFartd. I feel like I'm smarter or dumber now that we've done this video.
No, now that we've applied it to something that's completely useless, I think we've gotten dumber. So I have one last very important thing to do. Now that we're getting towards the end of the video, if you did not realize, we have not discussed the single worst alternate costume.
Oh, yes, that's a good point. That's a good point. Let's jump back to it.
I know you're all salivating right now, or you've already shut off the video. Either way, guess what? To no surprise to anyone, the worst costume is, drum roll, Boogie Bogey.
Here we go.
Basically, Glue was like, all right, what's the crappiest idea we have out there? Okay, kind of make him look like he glows in the dark, but don't really commit to it. All right, let's give him dice, because, you know, that's going to make it cooler. Oh, wait, no, it doesn't.
WhoFartd, do you know what this is? This is, this is like, okay, we're at Glue, we're in the IT or creative office, right? The department. And your boss comes up to you and says, hey, don't forget, that extra alternate costume for random characters is due in 10 minutes. And you and I look at each other and we say, wow, we totally forgot that that was even the thing. And it's due in 10 minutes. So what can we accomplish in 10 minutes? Well, we pick a character. Oh, Oogie Boogie was green for like a hot minute in Nightmare Before Christmas, right? So let's just color pixel use the paint bucket, hit the green button, the puke green button, and we're done. Here you go, boss. It took us all week, but there it is.
To me, this is what happens when you're too hungover to do your college paper and you go, hey, Leo, want to write me a paper?
Well, speaking as someone who did wake up drunk one crazy evening in college and wake you up and say, listen, man, I have to run to class, sit in front of my computer. Here is my essay that's due in 4 hours. And that was, you know, I'm glad you and your drunken, sleepy stupor typing with 2 fingers. You know what? The sad thing is, you doing that got me the best grade I ever got in that entire class. By far the most appreciated paper. And they just looked at me and were like, you just went into a new place. It's like you were a different person. I'm like, oh, well.
Well, you give me the option, drunk or sober, to write a paper about a controversial character. You know I'm going to write about Ozzy Osbourne. So at the very least, no matter how hungover or still drunk I might be, I can pull that off. Not efficiently, and as you could say, I was doing the typewriter hunt and peck, and there was probably about 70 misspellings that I don't even know if I spell checked. But thankfully, whoever was reading it read through all of my mess and saw the underlying work.
Oh my God, crazy. I loved it. Oh man. All right, people, that's our show. We'll catch you next time. Again, please like and subscribe, and maybe you can be our 33rd subscriber.